called Senior Moments with Leslie Vick. And it is sponsored by Grandpad, and we're so thankful to have them as our sponsor, where we talk about all different kinds of things that are happening to us, to our loved ones in our later years.
Yes.
Yes. And so today we are talking about sundowning.
Yes.
And this is a term that's been out for a long time. I think many of us may know what it is, but in case somebody's just brand new to sundowning, what does that mean?
Right. Well, some people towards the end of the day become more agitated. They may have more outbursts.
Yes.
They may have a lot of uncontrollable energy, and it's kind of a pattern that you start to recognize in this person. And so the term sundowning is coming and will be used, you know, even in the medical
Definitely, yes. Yeah,
field.
we were visiting before, and my experience in the nursing home is very common to have people sundown.
Yes.
And it does kind of, it really does kind of go with the sun, and it kind of is different in the different time in the winter than it is in the summertime.
Yes.
And there's so many different reasons for it. You know, a lot of our residents would. And I can relate to this as a mom, they will get anxious about picking up their kids from school or their kids coming home from school. I mean, you think of how many years you looked at the clock, and if you had to pick your kids up or if they were coming on the bus, you were, okay, it's 3:15, kids are coming, and that anxious feeling wants to return.
Right.
And it could be for a multitude of reasons.
Right. Maybe you drove in traffic a lot.
Yes. 5 o'clock, that end of the day for work, but like you said, it causes a lot of different kind of symptoms.
Yes, it can be, you know, both physical and mental.
Yes.
And you can't just take medication for it. So I wanted to, you know, write about different things that we can do when you're observing this pattern or this energy. And sometimes, you know, medication may have to be used.
Sure.
But hopefully, you know, you're working with it and not fighting it.
Right, and not just, you know, like we were saying, you don't just go, okay, it's 4 o'clock, we're gonna have our little sleepy pill now.
Right.
You know, not to make light of it, but there are so many other things that we can do, and it kind of starts with our emotions and us keeping calm, I think.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if the outbursts are happening, like, I don't want to eat, I don't want to take my medication. Sometimes just giving them a few minutes, you know, okay, I'll come back, you know, or you love applesauce. And, you know, this is your favorite, you know, TV program. Maybe you're giving them some folding exercises to do with some of that energy. Sorting pictures. This is one that I really love. Maybe you have a basket or a box of pictures, and they can, you know,
what a great
sort
thing to do with all of those pictures.
Yes, and not you know, oh, I know this person, I remember this, but it makes them feel helpful, and as well, they have this pent up energy. And
it gets some of that out.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And it's a pleasurable experience. You know, who doesn't love to look at family pictures and different things over the years? Like you said, staying calm for us. And so I'm going to reference a different interview that we did that we talked about making sure to take care of yourself so you can stay calm. You know, because there's a lot. This is drawing a lot from your own emotions and your physical strength and your mental strength and all of that. So that is something that we really have to do. Okay, back to the sundowning. So this is happening. Would you say people recognize, maybe learn tricks that might work for their loved one?
Music is another great thing, because music can be soothing in so many different ways. Maybe it's, you know, maybe they were a dancer. And so you put on more, you know, dance style music. Maybe, you know, they liked waltzing, that kind of thing. Or maybe you do more symphony, or you play Elvis. But music is so personal to so many people that it really can help.
It does.
It does. You know, and maybe while they're doing an activity, they're listening.
Or maybe then that's when we also take medication, or we take a few bites while we're, you know, chair dancing to whatever.
Right,
You know?
exactly. But it's such a personal thing that you can change that up, you know, a lot. You know, maybe they're a big sports fan, and even if they've watched the same World Series game 10 times, maybe that helps them and it's exciting. And to them, it's new.
Yes, it is. You know, and it sounds maybe kind of funny, but it is. And that's when we can use those kinds of you know, problems that we have it with memory to a good use. Is who doesn't want to experience the moment your team won the World Series every day?
Right, exactly.
So you can use some of those things to your advantage and to the person's advantage too, because you know, those are great feelings.
I know my father loved watching one of the Spanish stations.
Cool.
He did not speak Spanish.
He just enjoyed
He never
watching it.
did, but he did, and you know, I thought, hey, if it helps, think out of the box. Think about you know, some of the things that your person loved to do. And maybe they were a woodworker, maybe they were a crocheter, maybe, you know, just that little extra energy.
Doing yarn, even just like balling up yarn.
Exactly.
That can help and be comforting. And you spoke to having a purpose too. We all need to feel like we have a purpose and we're contributing, and that can help that too.
But the biggest thing is, if they do a lot of outbursts, is to stay calm and not match that energy.
Which is hard to do. Easy to say when we're sitting here all calm, you know, but that is difficult to do. And so make sure that you are getting the resources you need to. And so a lot of that information is on Leslie's website, leslievicbooks.com. And we have Leslie on every week. And thank you so much for doing that. It's really a benefit to us. Good. I'm so glad that we can keep you.
Yes.
All right, we'll be back with more Midwest Access in just a few minutes.